A very good evening to lecturer and my fellow friends. And today we are going to present our assignment one, which is article review. And myself, Tanisha, and I will present article one. Uh, Article title is the impact of commodity prices, interest rate, and exchange rate on stock market performance and empirical analysis. So for the introduction, for the introduction, the objective of the study was to explore how key economic variables like commodity prices, especially in this article, use palm oil, oil, and gold. And the second would be interest rate, and the third will be exchange rate, which affect the performance of Malaysian stock market index, called FPMKLCI. And this research is particularly relevant because Malaysia is heavily dependent on its commodity exports, and after understanding this relationship can help to guide the economic policies and investment strategies. So for the research problem and research hypothesis, the research problem in this article address that the relationship between the commodity price and interest rate and exchange rate, that their impact on Malaysia stock market performance. So, given Malaysia's major role in global palm oil production, which have a fluctuation in commodity price, especially in palm oil, where palm oil can significantly influence the economic and the stock market. So the researcher tested the hypothesis that there is a significant relationship between these economic variables and the stock market index, which is especially they propose that the changes in the commodity price, interest rate, and exchange rate will have a long-term equilibrium relationship with the stock market. So it was grounded in economic theories uh, like especially in this article, they are using APT, arbitrage pricing theory, and which it suggests that the macroeconomic factor that affect the stock market return. So for the literature review, the literature review provides a strong foundation for the study by referring both theoretical and empirical research, where the research mainly rely on two key economic theories, where first is arbitrage pricing theory, APT. APT is claims that macroeconomic factors including interest rate, exchange rate, and that influence the stock market and the efficient market hypothesis, which may state that stock prices already reflect all available information. So the article, mainly the review, also highlight that the previous study conducted in Malaysia and other emerging markets, showing that the factor like commodity prices, interest rate, and the currency fluctuation can significantly affect the stock prices. So it also discusses that how the palm oil industry central to Malaysia's economy, which can influence the stock market. The methodology for this article will be the author use econometric approach, where it called the bound test for co-integration. So this will help to identify whether there is a long-term relationship between the selected variable and the stock market index. So this was the ideal or important method for this study because it allows the researchers to explore long-term economic dynamics. So the study also analyzed monthly data from December 1997 to September 2012, where this will cover a period of significant economic events such as the Asian financial crisis and the global financial crisis that occurred during this period. So, this data was sources or retrieved from the recognized database like DataStream and the World Bank. And the key variables that analysis in the stock market index were interest rate, exchange rate, and the commodity price such as palm oil, oil, and gold that I explained earlier. So for the next would be data analysis and result. So first, once the data was collected, the researcher conducted a stationarity test using augmented Dickley Fuller and Phillips Perron test. This was stated in the article itself, and these tests ensured that the variables were appropriate for co-integration analysis, where the study used three models examining different variables on the stock market. So the first will be palm oil price, interest rate, and exchange rate. The second would be oil price, interest rate, and exchange rate. Then the model three would be gold price, interest rate, and exchange rate. So the key findings is this study revealed that certain factors have a long-term influence on the Malaysian stock market, especially palm oil price, which are crucial to Malaysian economy and have a significant effect on stock market. The exchange rate and the interest rate also play a critical role in shaping the stock market trend. Okay, in this article, however, as earlier I said that the variable of oil and gold prices do not seem to have a substantial long-term effect on the Malaysian stock market. So this finding highlights the importance of understanding the commodity price fluctuation and the macroeconomic factor for both policymaker and the investor. So for the conclusion, the study emphasized that palm oil prices, exchange rates, and interest rate have a significant effect on the stock market's long-term performance, and this have an important implication for the policymaker and investor in Malaysia. So for the policymaker, the findings suggest that managing macroeconomic variables, particularly commodity price, is a crucial for ensuring stock market stability. So in a different way, for investor, understanding the between the factors can provide the valuable insight into the stock market trends, and it also helps the investor to help guide the investment decision, especially in the sector that affected by the commodity price and the fluctuations. So the next article would be presented by Premila.
Okay, so good evening, madam. So I will be presenting the article 2, which is the effect of Sharia compliance announcement on stock returns in Malaysia. So it is basically the author is by for Noor Suhaira Jamil, Hamza Hassan, and Embarin Bujar. So the purpose of this study is to examine the impact of Sharia compliance announcement on the stock prices, and also focuses on abnormal price movement due to additions or removal from the Sharia compliance list. And to summarize, this abstract of the research is inclusion in the list of stock performance temporarily, and exclusion has a greater negative impact on the stock returns in the Sharia market. For the problem, the article clearly defines the issues as exploring how Sharia compliance announcement affect stock returns in the Malaysia capital market. And also the issue is relevant because adherence to Sharia principles is important to both Muslim and non-Muslim investors who are impacted by the price changes resulting from this announcement. So this research also intends to evaluate the influence of the Sharia compliance announcement on the stock price. The The major hypothesis of this research is proposed that the inclusion or removal of stock in or from the Sharia compliant list is significantly impacts the cumulative average abnormal return, which is CAAR, and the additional or the another two hypotheses is further explore the impact of this announcement and also the various depending on whether the previous or revised Sharia screening methodology are used. So the key terms used in this article is the Sharia compliance announcement, CAAR, and Sharia screening process. So the next part will be the review of literature. So first of all, is the all the cited sources in this article were very relevant and to the point. So for example, Security Commission's Malaysia reports on Sharia screening studies by MC Gown and Muhammad on 2010 on the listing of Sharia approved stocks. The second will be the review of the literature in this article is neither too broad or not too narrow, which is it strike a good balance by covering range of relevant topics, which include the theoretical framework of market efficiency, the role of Sharia compliance in Islamic finance, and the use of even study methodology. The third will be the articles reference are mostly recent to ensure the study's relevance to the current research and practices, which is the source study span from the early 2000s to the late 2010s, with significant studies are published between 2010 and 2016. The fourth will be there is no evidence of bias in this article, which is the source cited are neutral and objective, and the review fairly presented in a different perspective without favoring any particular viewpoint. So the next part will be the design and the procedure. So first is the scholar utilize a quantitative research technique, which is specifically and which is and the event study methodology to assess the impact of Sharia compliance statement on stock returns. The second will be the study differs from the replacement replica studies. It is a unique study that seeks to address gaps in the article. The third will be the main instrument of measurement in this research consists of stock returns and cumulative average abnormal return, which is CAAR. The fourth will be the studies methods are organized in a systematic manner. There is no mention of a pilot study being conducted in this research, which is not uncommon for even studies. The fifth will be the study involves variables that are both independent and dependent variables. During the period from 2007 to 2015, the companies listed on Bursa Malaysia that were added to or excluded from the Sharia compliance were chosen for this sample of this research has been conducted. So the next part will be the data analysis and presentation. So first will be the data analysis in the study was conducted using a quantitative approach, which is specifically employing the event study methodology to measure the abnormal returns, which is AR, and cumulative average abnormal returns, which is CAR, of stock surrounding Sharia compliance announcement. The second will be the data used in the study was entirely quantitative, which is it consisted of daily stock price of companies listed on Bursa Malaysia, the FTSE Bursa Malaysia, Emas Sharia Index as a benchmark and abnormal returns which calculated over specified window. The third will be the result. The result mostly supported the hypothesis and the objective of the research. The findings indicate that excluding stocks from the Sharia compliance list had a notable adverse impact on stock market returns, supporting the idea that this announcement impact on the market dynamics. And the last will be the weakness and problem of the research were not elaborated on thoroughly, even so a few identifiable limitations remain in this research. So next will be the conclusion and implication. First of all, the research findings are consistent with the initial aim of the research, which was to examine the effect of Sharia compliance notification on stocks in Malaysia, stock returns in Malaysia. The second will be the study implication were considered about the impact of Sharia compliance announcement on investor decision making and the market efficiency. The third will be the outcomes and implication will mainly impact a variety of important parties such as investors, fund managers, and companies that are listed on Bursa Malaysia. The last but not least, the research recommends carrying out surveys or interviews with investors to gain a deeper insight into their responses to Sharia compliance disclosure, especially in the terms of differentiating between Muslims and non-Muslims investors. Okay. So for the recommendation for both articles will be comprehensive examination of the Malaysian stock market responses to macroeconomy and the ethical factors, which is for the article 1, recommendation for the further studies, which is include more variables influencing stock markets, extend the study to other emerging market, and explore the effect of global economic crises on Malaysia's stock market. The article 2, which is analyze behavior of Sharia compliant stock, which is conventional stocks, which is contributing to Islamic financial literature. The implication will be support ethical investment strategies in Malaysia's Islamic financial sector. The key learnings from for this recommendation is economic variables, which is commodity price, example palm oil, written for the market trends, and Sharia compliant stocks show influence of ethical factors in main market performance. Last but not the least, the future researchers should know is the sector specified stock analysis and sustainability consideration and growing importance of ethical investing research. So that's all from us. Thank you.